Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Maverick here with another episode of ReZero. So, this episode should encompass the episode 4 and episode 5 of the original television anime, or as it was aired on television, anyways. Well, what happened last episode? Well, we could finally see Supero make some progression here, right? If this was a game, we would say he finally cleared the starting area. The entire time I was actually expecting him to get reset once again, since he did get into a kind of very critical point there, and that was the first time he got there, whilst knowing he had this sort of reset ability, right? So, well, things went better than expected. Once again, I have to give a big shout out to you guys as well. You guys are encouraging me a lot as to whether or not I'm guessing anything right or wrong, but still not spoiling anything at the same time. So I am still as in the dark as I have always been, even though I know that some of my things might have come true. I don't know which they are, right? So it'll be fun when we eventually confirm or disprove any of my theories there, and that's part of the fun here, right? So, in any case, Subaru seems to be moving up in life, right? He's gained the trust of Emilia, who I do reckon is of pretty important status in some shape or way or form. And, well, perhaps we're gonna have a normal episode this time without him actually dying on us. But, who knows? So, let's jump right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Definitely high class. Hmm. Ooh. Is she like royalty? This is a little bit too extravagant. There's no guards though. You've literally met her for only a few minutes, dude. There's a distinctively lack of people. Such a big place. Oh, that's why. NPC. What can I say? At least Subaru takes to his surroundings very well. Oh, you're gonna get it, dude. Alright. I mean, you had it coming, man. What? Alright, that was the... Huh. I was convinced that he was going to be he was taken to like a palace of some sort. Upper society or whatnot. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that scene there in the opening definitely has me thinking. With multiple Subarus there. I entrusted to the next incarnation of me. That might be a hint as well. Hello. Alright. These are the two important characters too as well. I mean, I knew the blue-haired one is pretty famous. Okay, I agree with Subaru here. Huh? Ton? Oh, but seriously, what is that she's wearing? Look at her legs, man. uh, you just want to watch some things bounce, right? Hey, but yeah. Aren't you guys gonna ask him why he knows about you? I think now should be questioning time, right? Alright, alright. So I guess, in any case, she is pretty high class. Is she royalty, though? Hmm. So is she a spirit as well? Okay. I wasn't expecting this kind of voice, but alright. No, Ross well, but oh, okay. So this is actually not Amelia's house either. Otherwise, why would he call her Emilia-sama? He's like, I got you figured out. Oh, hey, that's harsh. Ah, that's cute. Nanda yo? uh, hey, observation skills. Royalty. I mean, hmm. Alright, what stupid shit are you gonna say now? Mesa. And just wear this. And who is she? Is someone going to explain her? Barbarian? Really? He dresses back in his normal jumper clothes? Alright. I mean, do you really want to comment? I do think that's kind of weird, though, that he knows how to sue, so I would assume that he does a lot of his housework by himself and whatnot. He probably didn't think that far. He's a very straightforward kind of guy. I think Subaru is I think he's definitely very well suited for one of those school-based animes, right? In school and like school setting, sports and whatnot. It's a date. uh, uh, hmm? What? Huh. So it is more like a game in a sort of way. Huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue going here because hmm. So it's sort of like playing a game, right? You have to clear an area and then another area and then another area. Oh no, wait. Or was he actually killed last night? Okay. Actually, I think he is probably killed last night. That's huh? Therefore, oh, okay. No, but you, no. You remember you were you're killed in your sleep. Hmm. Okay, so hmm. Hmm. Ah, hi, Puck. I mean, yeah, this is really a one. I mean, your dialogue is already different, so. Okay, this is. I mean, wouldn't you biting and be even? Hmm. um. Oh, swam this time? Huh. Flawless logic. Emoji. Romoji. He's writing Japanese. Okay. So I. They are maids after all. Flawless logic. Wow. What? That? Hmm. So, hold on a second. I wish they would have told us how much time passed last time before, like how much time happened last time before he made the promise with Emilia. So maybe that night event triggers only when he makes the promise with Emilia, right? They might be getting too close. That might be what got him killed. I'm thinking. Ah. So you have a lack in self-confidence? Alright. Hmm. Is she a demon spawn or something? That's a cute smile. Ah. Oh. That that outfit is definitely very provocative. Are you gonna die of a heart attack, dude? All right. I think it's. This will probably confirm it. Oh, you still have power, dude? You were cool in it just now. Oh. Dang it, I thought. Well, there's actually still a little bit more after this. Oh. Actually, hold on. Okay, I didn't. Right, I didn't see this last time, right? Hmm. Alright, there's these people. These two. There's Elsa. Alright. So what's gonna happen tonight? He's gonna get reset. What's with this heartbeat sound? Oh my god. What's gonna happen here? Huh. Is he somehow poisoned? Oh no, no. Yeah, he was definitely poisoned of some sort, right? Okay, he's gonna try to find Betty? Beatrice? Or is he gonna find out who actually did this to him? Nope. Alright, who is it? Or is it actually like Rim or Ram or one of them? Oh, are we actually gonna see who it is? Ew. Alrighty, now this was a super interesting episode. I gotta say, honestly, episode 1 was okay, fine. We can see that, I can see that there's something, it has a special premise, right? Resetting it, I mean, I say special, but it's not all that special. It's not like it's never been done before, right? Episode 2, we kind of got that big fight between Elsa and Reinhardt, and all the others as well. And so yeah, that was pretty cool as well. This episode though, now you really got my attention. We can finally see the effects of this ability in full action, and we can also learn a little bit more about what it actually does, right? So as it is, it's not a case where you only have one reset point and you always go back directly to the beginning, right? This reset point can actually move, so it's more like a save point of some sort. Like when you're playing a game and then it's not a case where you can save it just by yourself, but actually a case where once you progress for a certain stage, then the save point activates, and then you can redo the stage over and over again, and then you got to clear the stage, right? So it's definitely much more similar to that of being a game rather than a time travel ability or just one reset to the beginning, right? Now, with that being said, I'm still not entirely dissuaded in my multiverse theory here. I still feel like there might be some hints of that happening and so on and so forth, but we'll see. But definitely, as it is right now, it's super interesting. Now, of course, why do the save points move, right? In a game, they are just there because they were designated there. In this case, who is the one who decides what exactly constitutes a passing of a certain point? Is that relevant at all, or is that just something that we're supposed to just accept as part of this world, part of the story, and leave it be, right? So those are some questions. I don't think we can answer them right now, so we'll leave them be and just keep that in the back of our mind, right? And so, speaking of this episode, I think it's quite obvious at this point that the first time Subaru reset, was because he died in his sleep, right? Directly after his promise with Emilia, he was too excited to fall asleep. Once he finally fell asleep, he was probably killed in his sleep there. Now, maybe it was, asphyxia, because we can see he was cleared poison and he's spitting vomit everywhere, right? Maybe he choked to death, in his, it's something that happens a lot as well. Maybe he was just simply, it was a potent enough poison that he just peacefully died in his bed while he was asleep. Or it could be similar to what we see here, and his room was infiltrated and he got basically completely smushed in one go there, right? But definitely it's probably a case where he died at that time, right? And speaking of which, I mentioned in the episode, I really want to get a sense of the passage of time here, because my theory right now is actually that this kill event is not triggered until he makes a promise to Emilia to go on a date. So even though I think in the first time, like 5 days or maybe a week had passed, something like that. No, actually it was 5 days, right? Because we saw Roswell and Ram looking out the window, and that was the night where five days had passed, and then also that was the night where Subaru made a promise to Emilia. So 5 days, basically 5 days. So I'm curious whether or not it's always specifically after 5 days, or can it be changed somehow, right? Maybe it doesn't trigger until he specifically makes this promise. And that's kind of important, because it kind of, it tells us what exactly we're dealing with here. Like, what type of fate are we dealing here, right? Because depending on the circumstances, we might be able to, I know, Subaru might be able to maybe postpone this promise a little bit later, have more time to prepare and all that. Or is it really a hard schedule right there, and he is always going to make a promise with her on the 5th day or something like that, right? So that's why I really wanted to at least have a sense of the days that passed, but oh well, I guess we'll see that in the next episode. As it is right now, there's not too much I can go upon, except that my hunch is that it's probably being triggered by the promise. And why is that the trigger? Well, based on some context of who Emilia actually is, and of course the dialogue between Roswell and Ram, right? So first of all, so Emilia was indeed someone of high status. In fact, she is royalty, a princess of some sorts. So you know what? I certainly don't blame them. Right now, my biggest suspect is Roswell, right? He seems to have the most motivation, and honestly, who can blame him, right? If somebody just shows up out of nowhere, wearing strange clothes with strange strange behaviors and whatnot, and then suddenly he's just this guy is just doing this stuff all out of kindness, not even asking for anything in return. He's really way too suspicious, right? Subaru has said that himself as well. So I don't even think that whoever's killing him is considered the antagonist here. I think they're just trying to do their jobs, honestly. So I certainly, without knowing more information, I certainly don't blame them for this as of right now. And indeed, it's not good for this kind of outsider to have for an outsider like Subaru to have such a close and intimate relationship with Emilia, who is apparently going to be potentially next in line, right? So, I mean, he's really he's really getting this upon himself by his actions and so on and so forth, right? And Rosal, of course, he is the one with the most, who is the most suspicious because of his dialogue with Ram. It could also be Ram. I mean, Roswell, we've already heard Ram say that he's one of the greatest magic users in this land, right? Ram, I get this sneaking suspicion that she might be like I mean, we can definitely see she is the right-hand man or right-hand girl of Roswell, and so I don't think it's too much to also theorize that she might be strong in her fighting capabilities, right? And that would be the difference between Ram and Rim. One is more suited for non-combat roles, whereas one is more suited for combat roles. That would also make a nice balance there, right? So that's my guess right now, and that's probably who either Roswell or Ram was the one who beat Subaru up at the end of this episode as well. Beyond that, in regards to Rim, or their identities and whatnot, we can definitely see that she was touched a little bit by Subaru's speech about demons and all that. So maybe we can also infer from this that Rim, and by extension Ram, are demon spawn in some way, or maybe mixed blood, sort of like Emilia, who is half elf and half human. Things of that sort of nature, right? So I definitely think that that has significance there, and is probably some key to both her self-consciousness, her lack of self-confidence, and etc., etc., and maybe even affecting all the way up to Roswell as well, right? So I think that's pretty much what we can infer from this episode, and man, it's definitely fun to see a system such as this, so that we can continue to progress on, and then utilize different methods to tackle the problem. It makes me feel like I'm playing a game myself. You guys get what I mean? So you're bashing your head against the wall, you're trying out all the different methods to finally get over the hump, but then you don't have to. That's one of the flaws of the other works that do a one-time reset, not a one-time reset, but only one reset point, right? One of the flaws of that is that you have to go through that entire process again and again and again. Of course, some works choose to just cut it out and all that, but it is repetitive after a while, right? So actually progressing forward, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, and it makes a lot more fun for us to watch as well. Beyond all that, though, one pressing question that I do have is, well, I guess two. So, in the last episode, right, at the end of last episode with Felt, we got Reinhardt, being very vague, right? He was, once he saw that Felt actually had the insignia, he was suddenly making a big deal out of the situation, right? So, obviously, now we do know that that Emilia is a princess, and so, and that insignia is, a proof of her legitimacy to ascending the throne. So of course it's a big deal. However, is that actually just truly the case? Because based on the is that just the case where as to why Reinhardt is so shocked about this entire situation? I don't know. From the dialogue that Emilia and Reinhardt had at the last episode, I didn't really think that was the case. I didn't think it was the crux of the problem was actually that she stole the insignia herself, whatever it represents. I thought it had something else to do with it. Now, of course, now knowing that that insignia is a proof of her, of her royalty, I guess that's enough to make anybody sort of freak out over this. But I don't know. If that is, then I feel like the dialogue from last episode was really intentionally misleading. Let's just say. So that's one thing. And the second thing here, however, is another quite peculiar thing. I feel like Felt and Rom actually do know about what that insignia means, and if that's the case, then by extension, they should also know who Emilia actually is and what she represents, right? Now, the funny thing here is that I feel like Emilia. So the first thing I thought of is Emilia's status, or is her role as a one of the princesses next in line, is that actually common knowledge or whatnot? And we can clearly see from episode 1 that's not the case. She's intermingling with all the common folk, and nobody's actually making a big deal out of the situation, right? So I don't think that is the case. At the same time, though, this is going back to episode 1, actually. I recall that when Subaru mentioned that, that was during the first time that Elsa and Rom and Felt and Subaru sat down and had this sort of bargaining, right? I believe the first time Subaru actually mentioned that he wanted to return the insignia to her rightful owner, and that's what got that's what got everybody all worked up, right? But not only Elsa, but also Felt and Rom as well. They were clearly shocked that Subaru mentioned this. But if they were shocked at this, then they must know who Emilia actually is, right? And they must know what that insignia actually signifies. They also must know that Elsa is probably one of being hired by one of the other other heirs to the throne, let's just say. And whoever hired her probably wants her to take the insignia from Emilia so that they can remove her from the line of succession here. And if that was the case, then definitely I feel like Felt and Rom might not be as innocent as we initially deemed them to be, right? So, yeah, I think that's the only big question mark I have right now. Well, of course, there's lots of question marks here, but I feel like the rest of them, they might be explained through time. The Felt and Rom situation definitely caught me a little bit off guard, though, so I don't know if that's actually relevant somehow, or maybe I'm just looking too much into a situation that was probably just misleading in its own little way, right? But in any case, that's it for this episode. I expect in the next one to see Subaru try and figure out like what exactly is causing this loop, and then probably also spending better time with the girls, Emilia and Ram and Rim and Betty as well, I guess, and trying to figure this whole situation out, right? We can definitely see that every time he resets and restarts, he gains an edge over this. Now by the next time he's gonna be able to know and learn how to do all the housework and whatnot, and he's going to be able to read and write as well, probably. So we are slowly progressing along, right? And I gotta say, I do find this very, very interesting. Anyways, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.